How disappointing is it to find out that expectations don't govern the future? I'm continually disappointed and crushed to find that out. Jim Miskell with the Estate Planning Law Group of Georgia here. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about statistics and expectations. One of the families I think about a lot are the True Loves. True Love's had a long and happy marriage, but Mrs. True Love ended up with dementia and Alzheimer's, and she ended up bedridden. And Mr. True Love stayed at home, kept her at home as her sole caregiver, and he didn't get a whole lot of help. He wanted to do it himself, and he didn't rely on anyone else to take care of his wife and help him very much. When he did some estate planning, he based all his decisions on what he knew to be true, that her prognosis was terrible, her health condition was terrible, and that he was still active and able to take care of her and run the household, and that there was no chance that she was going to survive him. If you've heard me tell this story before, you know that he died of a heart attack and left his two children to try and figure out what the heck was going on with the finances at the house, who the respite caregivers were. Really had to start from scratch, both well out of state, a daughter in upstate New York, a son in Pennsylvania. And it was preparing to file the petition for probate of the will so that they could get authority under the will, and it was going to take 30 to 45 days in Gwinnett County, where they're right on it with getting the petitions ruled on. But it was in the meeting where we in the conference room were going through the petition with the daughter who was the executor, where she asked, why didn't Dad make this easier? Well, he didn't make this easier because he expected things to go the way he expected things to go, and he didn't figure in that very often we don't get our way on those things. So I wanted to talk a little bit about expectations and statistics, and I've got two statistics on the board behind me. One is 100%. That's a sure, firm number. That statistic represents 100% of the people who were admitted to the ICU yesterday. And that includes folks that were in car accidents and who had heart conditions and who had a virus. That's everybody that was admitted to the ICU yesterday. 100% of those people, it turns out, had other plans. They were not expecting to end up in the ICU yesterday. 50%, greater than 50%, is a statistic that is reflective of Americans' estate planning preparedness. More than 50% of Americans don't have estate planning. That means that of those 100% of people that went into the ICU yesterday, more than 50% of their families didn't know what to say when the hospital said, do you have the healthcare directive and do you know where it is? They are trying to figure out right now how to access the bank accounts and the investment accounts if mom or dad's illness is prolonged. They're trying to figure out how to get access to the utility bills, the mortgage information, all those things, because more than 50% of those 100% that went in the ICU yesterday didn't expect to be there, didn't expect to have any trouble, and therefore didn't do the planning for their family. Estate planning is all about preparing your family for times of grief and crisis, not expecting that it happens, but being prepared if it does. And hopefully the future surprises us. Maybe we get what we expect, which is a happy future where there is no disability, where you don't have to rely on family members to act as your agents. But if it happens, your family is much better off and you'll be much happier making the decisions yourself than having family members, or in worst case, lawyers and judges make decisions on your behalf, because they have to rely on the Georgia Code. As we age, decisions get made for us. They can either be ours or somebody else's. That's what estate planning is all about. It's also about preparing the way for your family so that they're never at a loss, so that in times of grief and crisis, they don't have to deal with something else other than being together and spending time together. So that's all I had to say about expectations and statistics today. And I hope to see you soon. Jim Miskell with the Estate Planning Law Group of Georgia. Have a great day.